What's up, Internet? This is Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, here with another Transformers masterpiece review. And today is really quite a masterpiece. First of all, I'd like to point out that this review is brought to you by titanonetoys. titanonetoys is your #1 choice on the internet for toys and collectibles. Get your Transformers there, contact him and see what he's got, see what he can get for you. Great guy, great service, great site. Anyhow. And I am reviewing the masterpiece Dinobot. And this piece is a piece of work. Oh man. Let me just say that much right up front. Spoiler alert, but it's awesome. Now, full disclosure, I have actually never watched all of Beast Wars. I've watched some of it, but I thought that the animation really sucked. And so I never really got into it. People are like, oh man, the story is like really, really great. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I gave it like a 10 episode, challenge and just didn't get into it. So, I mean, if you don't get into a show after 10 episodes, yeah. But anyhow, if any of you don't know who Dinobot is, if you're one of the like 3 people in the world who doesn't know who Dinobot is a character from the Beast Wars show, and he used to be a Predacon, and then he decided to become a Maximal, and he was really cool, and then he like gave his life for the greater good and made everybody cry when they were little kids. Except me, because I didn't watch it when I was a little kid. Actually, I didn't watch it when I was an adult either, so. Anyhow, I used to have the Dinobot toy when I was a kid, like 25 years ago. And, man, this thing looks a lot different than that did, I'll tell you that much. In terms of accessories, of course, his main accessories that it comes with is his weapon things. He's got a sword here that he can hold in his hand. Just throw it into this peg right here. Come on. Like so. And he can hack and slash things with his pink sword. I'm not sure exactly why it's pink. I thought I remembered it being kind of a chromy metallic looking thing in the show, though I guess in one of his more distinctive battles, it was like at a sunset, and that kind of cast like a reddish hue on everything, including the sword, and that's what they're replicating here, maybe? I don't know. The other thing he comes with is, let me extend this out and get this out of the way, and get him leaning back a little bit, because this makes him a little bit front heavy, is his little spinny doohickey thingabob. And let me see if I can even get this going. Whoa, don't fall over, man. And it spins. Oh, except his claws are in the way. Let me get your claws out of the way, man. And it spins. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, this was dumb 25 years ago, and I think it's kind of dumb now. But you know what? This is a staple of the toy, and this is a staple of the character in the show. And he uses this thing like a shield. And they did it, and I think that's really good that they did it. I think it's dumb in the show too, but whatever. Everybody can hate on me because I'm not the biggest fan of Beast Wars. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. I am my own person. What can I say? Another big accessory, really important to the show, is Carl Sagan's disc that is on both of the Voyager space probes, and gosh, like everything on the back of this I think is wrong. I don't know. I'd have to go take a look at a picture of what it actually looks like in real life. But yeah, Sounds of Earth on the original space probes. This is made out of gold, and they put it on there, and it's got sounds of like nature and like birds and like babbling brooks. And also like people saying hello in like all their different languages, so that if an alien ever gets it, they can throw it on a record player and play it, and been like, yeah, that's what Earth sounds like right there. But anyhow, through some sort of time travel mumbo jumbo bullshittery, it ends up in the Beast Wars line, and it has some like really important functions, and I don't know what they all are. I'm trying to find, there's an accessory for this to make it so that you can hold it. this little tiny plastic accessory. And you kind of clip that into there, and you stick this in his hand, and he can be like, yo, buddy, my record has only gone golden yet. A few more 100,000 copies and I can go platinum. Or he can like get shot through the disc into his head and die. One or the other, your choice. Some of the other accessories he comes with is he comes with a bunch of extra faces. He's got his, I've got his happy face installed in here. Let me just like rip his face off, you know, Revenge of the Fallen style. There's his happy face here. It's more of like a Starscream-ish kind of smirk. Mouth opens and whatnot. The mouth actually opens on all of these faces, which I think looks really good. There's that. His default face is the angry face, or he just looks angry, and he can talk it to you. And then he's got like a really angry face, where he's got more like a snarl, whereas this is more of like a scowl. This one's more like a snarl. And then he comes with an additional snarl face, but instead of his eyes being painted in the red paint, they're molded in this clear plastic. They're actually all molded in clear plastic, just most of these are painted. And I dropped that one. And that's because you push a button on the back of his head and his eyes light up, which I don't have any batteries in there. It takes 2 LR44 batteries, by the way. You push a button on the back and his eyes light up, and then if you push it again, it turns off. But if you hold it, it turns on green because his eyes light up red, as they normally are. But there was like one scene in one episode, I don't know. There was a scene where he used eye laser beams, and you can put that effect in here and turn the LEDs green, and he can just like whoosh, laser everything with his Superman eyes or whatnot. But anyhow, I'm going to pull that off and put back in his grimace face. Other accessories he comes with is he comes with this little thing right here that attaches onto his butt in like 4 different places. And that's so that you can have him, in case you want to have him in like a jumping pose or like a flying pose or like a running pose or some other pose that is not conducive with, you know, actually like being, having able to balance. Wow, was that even proper English? No, it wasn't, but whatever. Having able to balance, then you can have it up here and stick it in there and put him ass. And have him balanced when he wouldn't normally be. But this stand, I think this is the only masterpiece that does not a flying mode have a stand, because all of the Seekers each come with a stand, and the Masterpiece Starsaber came with a stand, and I think that's it. Well, let me see. No, Trax came with a stand, but he had a flying, like the flying car mode, which I think looked dumb, but anyhow. But that's it for his accessories for this mode. One last thing I want to point out. He does come with an accessory specifically for the golden disc. You take this, you open it up a bit, then you can stick that in there and have the Sounds of Earth, like on your mantelpiece or something like that. I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so let me get all this accessories out of the way. And we'll run into posability. Let me get a sword out of his hand. His weird, like, hand claw thing. Like, seriously, does he have three fingers and 2 thumbs, or are they just like all like digits, and these are his interior digits and these are his anterior digits? Or I don't know. Like, how do you describe the anatomy of somebody who's got hands that are like really effing weird like that? I don't know. Anyhow, so his head is on a ball joint and it moves all around and whatnot. It does come out like this. This is kind of for transformation. I like to pull his head up just a bit so you can actually like see some neck there. Otherwise his like head is like embedded into his body and there's hardly any neck to be had there. His shoulders will move all the way around, come out all the way. He's got an upper bicep swivel. He does have single joint elbow with a pretty good range of motion, but keep in mind the more you pull them out, the more it pulls out. There's like this chunk right here So be aware of that. Use it at your discretion. His wrist rotates forward and back, rotates right here. There is no way to rotate this joint so that it moves like this way instead. I'm not really worried about it. I think that it works really well the way it is right now. He's got his 3 anterior fingers are each individually posable, with a joint at the base and a joint down here on one of the knuckles, so you can move them about. His 2 interior digits are the similar sort of thing, but they're molded together. So yes, he can like flip the bird, but it looks like really weird. Like really weird, because his hand is just really weird. At his waist, he's got a waist swivel. His waist wastes appropriately. His leg will move forward all the way, back all the way. It'll move out. Jeez, that's only like a quarter of a Van Damme. It's not very much Van Dammage. And that's just because of this section here intersects with that section there and whatnot. If you actually move his foot forward, it'll go out like all the way. Like that would be a full Van Damme, but it's not technically. It just means that he can do a different sort of spready, I guess. I don't know. Same with his, like there's a rotation here. Like when it's out here, it'll rotate. You can see that this rotates a bit. But because of this like divot right here, it attaches onto his hip bar and like it blocks that from moving around. I'm not really worried about it because there's totally a swivel right up above his knee. That's great. He's got a single joint at the knee, but that actually allows for a really good range of motion. Like this is a really good range of motion. He could probably do an Iron Man pose if I felt like taking the time to do that. Which in my first run through of this video, I was like already at like 25 minutes by now. So I'm going through in half the time so that you guys don't have to watch like a whole like big long boring thing. You're welcome. His ankle moves forward and back. He's got a rotation there, or a tilt and a rotation. No foot posability, like this part will move, but that's for transformation, and this part moves, but that's also for transformation. Doesn't affect the of his foot as well, anyhow, in any way. But yeah, let's get down to transformation. By the way, I really like this moving mouth. I think that they all look really good. I like it because you can take it and kind of like have like a little bit of teeth showing, and it just lends this subtlety to his expression that you don't get from Transformers regularly, because it's hard to put that sort of subtlety into a mold and then actually like paint it and whatnot. So I like it. I think it's actually really well done. The sculpting on this figure is phenomenal. Like all this lines and whatnot, these are all molded in. And then the paint apps are done really well. I think they just use a stencil for that. Like your regular sort of paint apps, but I don't know. It's done really well. I like it. So to get this guy transformed, we're going to put his arms out into the tree pose. We're going to turn his head around, turn his waist around, turn his knees back around, and that'll get us started. We're going to take right here at the knee, we're going to take this part here at his shin, and we're going to disconnect this. This lower leg is going to come out on this double joint. We're going to fold that around and click that back into place. Take this piece and fold that into there to cover that up. Next, we're going to take and we're going to yank on this panel back here. That's going to allow us to rotate this out, put his foot in, and rotate his foot all the way around. We're going to collapse this section right here and fold in that section. Whoops, this foot's got a tab. We're going to pull this tab out. Bam, fold the heel in. Then we're going to take this leg. There's a weird sort of double joint here, and we're going to kind of yank it and pull it in. Same with this other leg. We're going to take this hinge, pull it around. We'll go to this side, so you're looking at it from this side. Fold that in. pull on this, put that into the inside, fold up the heel, fold down that foot, rotate it around, fold this double hinge. There are also hinges here, but I'm not going to worry about them right now. Maybe we'll just untab them. I mean, they don't tab, but they kind of tab. We're just going to kind of pull them out, but we're not going to do anything with them at the moment. These legs are going to go up like so. And these legs are also going to tab in together, but I'm not really going to worry about that right now because I think they'll actually want to come untabbed. One thing to point out is that as this gets transformed, I've transformed to this olive twice now. And that's some paint chipping right there. It looks like there's a little bit of paint wear on that side too. Keep in mind, this isn't really exposed in the dyno mode, and when it's in the alt mode, that is completely covered up. So I'm not going to be like, oh no, red alert. But just something to be aware of, that much of this toy is painted on the outside, and so as you handle this, it is going to have some paint chipping on it and whatnot. We're going to untab this face here, which, by the way, doesn't that look like a big old like anaconda head? I think it looks like a snake. We're going to pull this panel down, fold it like that so that we can sneak it past the eyes and fold it back up. So now his eyes are covered. This is going to be important in the future. We're going to untab the front chest here, and just everything's just going to go bleh, like that. Just bleh. Bleh. All right, does it look like a mess yet? Because it kind of is. It's actually not too terrible of a transformation once you get used to it. Until you get used to it, though, it is gonna just... It's a very intimidating transformation, but once you get into the nitty-gritty of it, it's not a terribly hard transformation. I guess that's what I'm really getting at, if that makes any sense whatsoever, which doesn't make sense to me. I shouldn't expect it to make sense to you. So what we're going to do in here is we're going to put his head in between his legs. That doesn't seem right. No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We're going to put his head in between his legs. We're going to take and extend out. There's these armatures here that his arms are attached to. We're going to put them out. They're kind of folded back and forth, like in sort of a V thing. And we're going to rotate it. There's at this joint right here. Alrighty. And this is going to kind of tuck around. We're getting ready for future steps. But nothing is tabbing in yet, so everything's kind of a mess. So now let's start tabbing things together. We're going to take these panels here, which were the sides of his torso. We're going to kind of rotate them around, and they will tab in together. Take his dino head, rotate it about. We are going to take this peg right here is going to plug into this hole right here, and that's going to kind of help that stick together. And now all we got to do is we got to rotate all this stuff into place. Ultimately, our goal is there's a tab right here that was on the back of his knees in robot mode. It's going to fit into a slot right here on this armature. And it's really just a matter of getting all of this stuff into the right position. Let me take this time to actually plug his feet in together. part of the issue with this is that the different tabs on him, like these different joints, especially in this shoulder armature, the different joints have different tensions. Like they're all little ratchet joints, but some of them are really strong and some of them are kind of loose and some of them are kind of iffy. And oh, by the way, there's like this like dino thigh part right in the way. So get that tabbed into that properly. Oh, come on. What is, there we go. Bam. Tab that in. Tab that in. Now we are going to fold this part. Actually, first thing we're going to do, let me put this down for just a moment. We're going to take his tail. This part is going to line up like so. This part's going to fold down into that spot there. We're going to take the sword. We're going to fold up the handle like this. We're going to put this in here. By the way, if you're holding it in robot mode, you can totally spin it around like that if you really want to. You don't have to. And then we're going to disconnect. There's a tab right here. That. We're going to bring the tail around. Collapse this joint here. Again, there's a tab right here. Bring this tail around. Collapse this joint. And then we're going to fold this together. Make sure that everything lines up. There's a series of pegs and tabs along the way, and that is it all put back together. I dig it. Now this peg is going to go into this hole right here, and then this tab, there's the little rectangular tab, is going to go into this spot right here. And it's really, really hard to put it in once you've turned it into a dinosaur, so we're going to put it in right now. Then as we fold this down, these tabs right here and here are going to fit into these slots right here and here. Bam, bam. And we're just going to kind of put these panels into place. Like so. Put these panels into place like so. We're going to take his dino arms and we're going to straighten them out. Straighten, straighten, straighten. And then we just got to finish up his legs. We're going to bend this that way. We're going to open this. So this part right here is going to disconnect. And spin around and slide back down. The hand here, you're going to fold in the two thumbs, curl them up as hard as they'll go, curl the three fingers over that, and then have it so the anterior digits are on the outside. Fold that in, close that up. It won't really hide it, but oh well, what can you do? Then you're going to take and you're going to fold out his raptor claws, and we're going to take this part here and we're going to just bend this around to the back, and then we're going to do the same for the other side. Turn that like that, bend that like that, open this, pull this, flip this around, close that, fold the interiors, close, close, unfold his raptor claws, and kind of get everything lined up, and that is our Dinobot. And as I'm going to tell you in just a moment, I am a god because I got him to stand up. This guy does not like to stand up, like, at all. Like, you can kind of balance him But like if the oh, there's one part that I forgot. Pull on this, flip this panel out, and close it back up. So you can kind of get him standing, but like if anybody walks by, it's gonna knock him over. And like if the trash truck drives by outside, it's gonna knock him over. And if like, you know, somebody sneezes the next county over, it's gonna knock him over. Like, yeah, he does not like to stand up, which is part of the reason why I think this stand even exists. In fact, for this purpose, I'm going to put him onto the stand just to make the rest of this review go smoothly and easily. To install this part here, what you need to do is, because you got this part is on this weird like joint thing, right? You need to pop up the snake head underbelly. And then this little divot is going to go around that hole. And this little, you see this semicircular thing here that's going to go into this little detail right here. So we're going to throw that in. We're going to close this back up. And then this is going to fold around, and you'll see that I've got this little section right here. The feet are going to fit into that. And then it's just going to go right on top of this like that. You can take this piece and extend it and plug it in anywhere you want. So you can get him. And yeah, you can get him fairly well like he's actually standing. So here he is in his dino mode, and his tail sticks way out. But aside from that, oh, and by the way, like, damn, these hips. The hips don't lie. Dinobot's badonkadonk. That's like some serious hips, man. This is not at all like the raptors that you've seen on Jurassic Park. Like this is a raptor with you know, wide load tattooed across his ass. But he looks really good. He's actually, so he's got this whole chunk of stuff just under here. And yes, it's unsightly, and yes, it's just but you know what? I mean, it still looks better than the other toys, you know? I mean, yeah, it's not like a perfect transformation in that, oh my gosh, it looks exactly like a Velociraptor in its Raptor mode, and oh man, it looks just like Dinobot in its Dino mode. You know, because I don't think that's physically possible. But I do think this is about as good as it's gonna get. All of his panels line up really well. Like even like stuff like this. Like there's like, I mean, sure there's seams, but it lines up fairly well. And I think it looks really good. In terms of posability, his head will look up and down. He actually has an opening mouth with a posable tongue. If you pull his, so you open his mouth, right? And then you pull on it and it extends out his teeth just a little bit. And so you can like close it a bit and have him like, kind of in like a grinning kind of scally face. His arms will rotate back and forth on this little joint here. They'll go in and out like so. There's a rotation here. There's a bend at the elbow. There's a double joint at the wrist. This was for transformation, but I'll be damned if you can't like get like all of the like crazy posability out of this in this mode. This part of his leg, it does not move. That is pegged in. If you unpeg it, you're unpegging part of the transformation, and it's going to not really work out great for you. But he does have this joint here at the knee, and this joint here, which granted, just like when it was his arm, the more you pull on this, the more it's going to pull out the rest of that mode there. And little bit of ankle tilt on here. And by the way, this actually has, so ankle tilt means quality. This is the most quality figure I've ever seen held in my hands. Yeah, if ankle tilt equals quality, man, right here. This is as quality as it gets, man. On the tail, you've got a joint here, a joint here, and a joint here, and then a side-to-side joint here. So you can get a fair amount of posability, especially if you try and keep it kind of subtle. It looks really good. It looks pretty natural. Another gadget that you can do for this is you can take and lift up, this is Masterpiece Grimlock style, and switch out his eyes for squinty eyes. Oh, I forgot to mention this one right here. Squinty eyes. So you can be like, yeah, yeah. And non-squinty eyes. The only accessory that's really in use in this mode is the actual stand itself. You can take the golden disc, once again plug it into your little thingamajig here, and he's got a peg on his hand, and he can pretend like he's holding this. And that's cool. But yeah, all in all, I think that this figure is really great. I mean, it's certainly the best Dinobot figure you're ever going to get. If you are a Dinobot fan and you're willing to drop, like, what, $250? Is that what the going rate for this is? If you're willing to drop quite a bit of money on what is easily the definitive version of Dinobot, like, absolutely go for it. If you are not into Beast Wars, this is not your thing, man. I don't even know why you're watching this. In fact, probably most of you aren't. So, but yeah, I think it's a great figure. The sculpt is great. The engineering is phenomenal. The detailing is really, really good. I like it. I think that it's come together really well. I think that it is a wonderful example of just how far design and engineering have come. Like, this is just crap that we never could have even imagined. Even just like, you know, a few years back when they're like, hey, by the way, we're in the Universe line, we're going to come out with new Beast Wars figures. Yeah, that's great. This is the best Dinobot we've ever had. Yeah, this is way better. Anyhow, if you're going to get it, go ahead and check it out at Big Bad Toy Store. Drop him a line, see if he's got them, see if he can get them for you. And thank you, everybody, for watching. You guys are all fantastic. It's great that I have, like, even the, like, random, like, 10 people that click on my videos. But you all have a fantastic day. I will see you later, and have a good day. See ya.